Hello?
Hello? What are you doing?
I am waiting for someone else to come rescue me.
I found Claire McAllister. She seems to be safe and well.
Your location and we can send in a chopper.
Stand by for location. Need to get to higher ground for a reference point.
You don't know where we are?
Oh, I know where we are. But you need to stop acting like a child, Claire, and come down from there. I'm not doing this all over again.
I heard him say I looked like a child. I immediately couldn't hold back my anger. So no matter how much he tried to convince me, I stayed up in that tree, refusing to move. I was furious. Eventually, he lost his patience too. He decided to climb up and pull me down.
What are you doing?
Get me out of this tree.
No. Get out of the tree. Get out of here.
When he fell to the ground, I couldn't stay mad anymore. He wasn't hurt, but the walkie-talkie broke. He planned to climb to a high point to find a signal. Then lightning struck across the sky. The horse got scared and ran off because he was angry and hadn't told headquarters where we were. The walkie-talkie was useless, and the phone had no signal here. It felt like fate cutting us off from the outside world. We couldn't ride the horse, and even though he knew the way back, it would take at least 2 days to get there.
What about a smoke signal?
It's fire season, okay? We can't build a fire big enough to send up enough smoke.
To get out sooner, we followed the map to an area with signal coverage, but in front of us was a nearly vertical cliff. Without a word, Jack started climbing. I couldn't find the words, so I just stood aside, frustrated. Jack looked confident up there. Then my phone slipped out of my pocket and hit the ground. The last device we had to contact the outside world was broken. Jack climbed down disappointed. Soon a storm hit. We found a cave to hide in. Jack noticed I was shivering. He knew it was a sign of hypothermia. He pulled a blanket from his backpack. At first I refused. I didn't have any feelings for Jack, but I wouldn't let him get into trouble. Jack wrapped the blanket around me from behind. I felt the warmth from him.
How'd you find me?
Well, you're not gonna believe me. Well, I kind of fell asleep on the horse.
That night, everything between us changed. The next morning, the sun was shining. We set off early. We were heading to the rescue station, a full day's walk away. By then, we could use their communication equipment to call for help. Seeing me hurry, Jack kindly suggested we slow down. Can we take it slow? I grabbed his backpack and kept going.
Oh, and now that I'm carrying your things, you should be able to keep up with me.
Look around, Claire. When are you ever gonna be in a place like this again?
He didn't want me to keep talking about getting out. Being in nature, feeling its beauty, is its own kind of freedom. I understood what he meant. I explained my situation. I was the CEO of a big company in the city.
Do you even know who you are outside of work?
There's nothing wrong with being successful at work. Okay, it pays for my happiness. My car, my apartment.
Money doesn't buy you happiness.
When I said that, I felt uncertain. Though Jack's words annoyed me, I slowed down. We walked along the rugged mountain path through shaded trails. I started seeing the wonders of nature. This was a beauty I hadn't seen before. Along the way, Jack told me about the sights and the stories of what had happened to him here. As time passed, a building appeared in front of us. At first, he thought it was the rescue station, but when we got closer, we saw it was just an old abandoned cabin. We didn't stop there. Instead, we walked along the riverbank, looking at the flowing stream. I came up with an idea since we were heading downstream. Why not make a raft and float down? A raft would be much easier than walking.
That'll take a whole lot of something you don't exactly have, Claire.
Jack suddenly remembered the cabin. He stayed behind to design the raft while I went to look for materials. To our surprise, in this desolate place, we found a kayak and it was in perfect condition. That's when I started chatting with him about family stuff and life's hopes at that moment. I didn't realize that we were starting to feel something for each other, but Jack's food had run out with his survival skills. He decided to use whatever we had to catch some food. We worked together and soon we had enough fish to fill us up. Though I was exhausted, we were full of energy. We didn't rush to leave as the sun began to set. I realized that I didn't have much time left with him when we both felt that spark. We didn't say anything about it the next day. We resumed our journey to the rescue station, but just as we turned a corner, I unexpectedly ran into my boyfriend. Jack looked shocked as my boyfriend handed him the phone. Then something happened that left me speechless. My boyfriend suddenly knelt down, pulling out a diamond ring. When I said yes, Jack and the ranger both looked disappointed. I understood Jack. After hours of walking, we finally made it out of the forest. I shared a brief glance with Jack before I sat in the car, conflicted, on the drive. I looked at the ring on my finger, thinking about what to say. Before I could, my boyfriend spoke first. I could hear the regret in his voice. I felt relieved in front of him. I bravely confessed my feelings for Jack. He didn't seem surprised. Soon we arrived at a farm. Jack's place both my boyfriend and I had found. The partner's fate had chosen for us.